You call yourself the CEO. It's on your LinkedIn, it's on your business card, but let's be honest about what you actually do all day. So you're answering client questions, you're fixing problems, you're doing deliverables, you're managing tasks. You're basically a high-paid employee who happens to own the business. That's not being a CEO, that's being stuck. And here's what's actually happening. So you built a business, but you never made the identity shift from worker to leader. And until you make that shift, you're trapped doing all the work with the fancy title. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you what a real CEO looks like and why most founders never make this transition and how to step into the role you're supposed to be playing in your business. So let's get started. So let me describe what a typical day looks like for a lot of entrepreneurs that we work with. You wake up, you check your messages, a client needs something, you handle it. Your team has a question about how to do something, you answer it. A problem comes up with a project, you fix it. Something or someone needs approval for a decision, you give it. And then by the end of the day, you've been busy for 10 hours, but what did you actually do? You responded to other people's needs, you solved tactical problems, you kept the machine running, and that's operations. That's not leadership. A CEO's job isn't to run the business day to day, it's to build the business for tomorrow. It's long-term strategic thinking. But you're so buried in today that tomorrow never gets attention. And here's why this happens. You started your business by doing everything yourself. You were the product person, the marketer, the salesperson, the support team. You did it all because there was nobody else. We all start like that, right? And you got good at it. And then you became valuable because you could execute. And then you hired people. But you kept the same identity. You're still the person who does things, right? You're still the person who knows how everything works. You're still the person who steps in when something needs to get done right. And that identity worked when you were small, but it's killing you now that you're trying to grow because you can't scale yourself. People don't scale, systems scale. So you can't do more hours, you can't move faster, you can't clone yourself. The only way to grow is to stop being the person who does the work and become the person who builds the systems that do the work. And that's the CEO role. But you're stuck in the worker role with a CEO title. Real CEO work looks completely different from what you're probably doing right now. It's not answering questions, it's building systems so the questions don't even come to you. It's not fixing the problems, it's creating processes so problems get caught and fixed without you. It's not doing client work, it's designing how client work gets delivered consistently again without you. And it's not being available all the time. It's protecting time to think about strategy, direction, growth. The CEO builds the machine and then the employees run the machine. That's the deal. If you're running the machine, you're not being a CEO. You're being an employee who happens to own equity. Great, it's your business, but you're not acting as a CEO. And that's a trap because it feels productive, right? You feel like you're busy, you're helping, you're needed, you get things moving, but the business isn't growing as much as it should be because you're doing work instead of building systems and capacity. Now, making the shift from worker to CEO is not just about working less. It's about working completely differently. So you need to stop asking, okay, what needs to get done today? And you need to start asking, what needs to be built so this can run without me? When a client question comes in, don't just answer it. Ask, why did this question come to me instead of being handled by someone else or answered by our documentation and systems? And when a problem comes up, you don't just jump in and fix it. You want to ask, what process would have prevented this or caught it earlier? And when somebody asks for approval, don't just give the approval. Ask, what decision framework would let them make this call themselves in the future so they don't have to ask me? Every tactical thing you do is an opportunity to build strategic infrastructure. But most founders never take the opportunity. They just keep doing the tactical work because it's faster in the moment. It's easier to do, okay? And that's why they stay trapped forever. If you made the shift to the real CEO work, your days would look completely different. You'd spend time on people, hiring the people, developing your team, making sure everyone knows what they own and what success looks like. You can't delegate to people who don't exist or people who aren't capable, right? So building the team, that's CEO work. Then you'd spend time on systems, documenting processes, building frameworks, creating structure that lets work happen consistently without you. Systems are what scale. Again, people don't scale, only systems scale. You can't scale. You don't scale. You'd spend time on strategy. What are we building toward? What markets should we enter? What offer should we create? What's our 3-year vision? This is the stuff that actually grows the business, but it never gets attention because you're too busy doing today's work. And you would also spend time on metrics. Run your business on data, not doing the work, measuring the work. What numbers tell you if things are going well? Are we on track? Where do we need to adjust? You'll be looking at your CEO scorecard. CEOs look at dashboards and then make decisions, and employees look at tasks and execute them. Now, the reason most founders don't make the shift is because it feels risky. It's a little bit scary, right? Because if you stop doing the work, what if it doesn't get done? What if your team messes up? What if clients get upset? What if revenue drops? So you keep doing the work because it feels safer. But here's the truth. As long as you're doing the work, your business cannot grow past you. You are the bottleneck. That means you are the ceiling. And eventually, you'll hit a wall where you can't work any harder or any more hours. And when that happens, growth will hit a wall. Unless you make the shift. Yes, things may break when you step back. Yes, your team might struggle at first. Yes, for sure there will be mistakes, but that's how they learn. That's how systems get built. That's how your business becomes something bigger than just you working really, really hard every single day, right? The risk of staying where you are is bigger than the risk of stepping into the CEO role. Now, you don't make this shift overnight. Sure, you want to start small. You pick one thing you're doing that shouldn't be on your plate, something tactical that somebody else could own. You build a process for it, you document it, you train someone, and then you hand it off. And then you protect the time that you just freed up. You don't fill it with more tactical work, you use it for CEO work. So you're upgrading, up-leveling your calendar. You're doing hiring, you're building systems, strategy, metrics, and then you do that again with the next thing, and then the next thing. And like little by little, over time, you shift from doing the work to building the business. You shift from being needed for everything to being focused just on the things that actually matter to grow the business. You grow from employee with equity to actual CEO. So to summarize, calling yourself CEO doesn't make you one. We all do it, but there's more to it. Working in your business all day just makes you a high-paid employee. But being a CEO means building the business, not running the business. Building the team that runs it. Building the systems that can scale it. Build a strategy that grows it. And stop doing all the work and start building the infrastructure that does the work without you. That's the shift. And that's how you go from a glorified employee who's working in a self-employed job to an actual leader. And that's also how you build something that can grow past what you personally can execute.